Yeah, we are going to look at operators in PHP. Okay, for this particular lecture, we are going to look at assignment operators. Okay, assignment operators. Now, we've started using assignment operators as anyway. If you look at this, let me uncomment this. You look at this first script equals to this sign is an assignment operator. Okay, which it means that this "she told me I love you," which is a string, is assigned to first script using this sign assignment operator. You get that? Okay, now there are many others we want to look at, and they are important in your coding. They are very important. Let's take them one by one. Okay, let's say we have let me just say number one. Let me just call this variable number one. Okay, let me create another variable. I'll call it number two. Then let me give it something like, let's say, okay, 10 is okay, so it will be easy for you to understand. Now if I do echo, watch me, if I do echo echo number one, oh, sorry, before I do echo, please let me create another variable. It will be easy for you to understand. I'll create another variable. I will say combine numbers, okay. Then I will now say number one equals to just 1 minute. Okay, let me just leave the variable now, this variable for now. Let me just run the code, the first code the way it is. We want to use another assignment operator now. You can say something like this: number one plus equals to number two. Number two, okay. Now if I echo number one now, you see what we'll get. Okay, let me echo number one. I didn't put one here. I will explain this when I echo this. You see what we'll get. So well, let's go and echo that. Do you see what we get? We get 66. Let's see what actually happened. This is the number one, which is 56, and number two, which is 10. Now plus equals to, look at what it will do. It will add the value of number two, it will add the value of number two and assign it back to, that is, it will add the value of number two to number one and assign the whole value back to number one. I don't know if you get it. The value of number two is 10. The value of number one is 56. Because I use plus equals to, what I am actually saying is add the value of number one and the value of number two. Whatever value you get, which is in this case 66, assign it back to number one, so that whenever I echo number one, that new value will be echoed. I hope you get it now. So that's how it is. That's just one assignment operator you can use. That's a compound operator there. Okay, so having done that, let's look at minus equals. Just the same thing, more or less. minus equal, what it's going to do is that it will minus the value of number 2, okay, from the value of number 1, and whatever value you get, it will assign it back to number 1. Okay, let's try it and see what we get. Do you see that? It minus 10 from 56 and we get 46. Okay, good. Now another one here is division equal, that is / equals to, what this one means is that divide the value of number 1 by the value of number 2 and assign whatever you get back to this. So what it's going to do is that it's going to divide 56 by 10. Whatever value it gets, it will assign it back to number 1. Okay, let's save and see what we get. You see that? 5.6. That's what we get. Okay, the same thing applies to multiplication. Just asterisk equals to that is multiply the value of number 1 and number 2 and assign it back to number 1. Okay, when you save and you go back, you run it, you see 560. Okay, I hope you get it. So that is how it is. Sorry. So that's the normal compound operators, assignment operators that are important here. Okay, this thing is so important that you learn it. This is a shorthand way actually of writing it. You can still write something like this. If you want to use the longhand way, you can say number 1 equals to number 1, then you can now put whatever sign you want, maybe asterisk, number. This is a long sign, a long hand, a long way of writing it, but you still get the same result. Okay, then the last but not the least is the concatenation. When you want to concatenate values, how are you going to do it with this assignment operator as well? It's simple. Let's do it. We are going to say number 1. Okay, this time around, let me change this to another thing. Okay, let me use this years old. Let me just say I am. Okay, let me remove I love you here. She told me that her age is, okay, let me just say I am 56. I am, let's say first script, I am. Okay, I want to concatenate this and this. Okay, and assign it back to first script. Okay, look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to just say copy this first script, replace it here, paste it here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is dot equals, let me remove this. Okay, I'll use dots this time. Dot equals to, then I'll put a number 1 here. Do you know what this means? It means that this first script, it will concatenate this and this and assign it back to first script. If I run first script now, you see what we'll get. It will concatenate the value of both and assign it back to first script. Okay, it will concatenate this value and this value and assign it back to this value. Okay, so that when I run this first script right now, instead of this I am running, the combination of this I am and 56 will run. Understand this thing, it will help you when you get to serious project. Okay, it will help you to do well. Now when we click on this, you see I am 56, both concatenated. Thank you so much.